What's up, guys? It's Alex. Today I'm going to be talking about the short-term rental moratoriums. A question I'm getting a lot is, what are these moratoriums? Who do they affect? Where do they apply? So today I'm going to answer all those questions. So I think it's important to start with a little background here. Crested Butte, like many mountain towns, is in an affordable housing crisis. It's gotten so bad that we're losing our local workforce. Town even declared an affordable housing emergency. It's always been hard to find housing here. I mean, I remember when I first moved here, like literally tracking down my landlord at a restaurant to give him a check because I just knew I had to secure that place. So this is nothing new, but it's gotten exponentially worse. Crested Butte has gained a lot of publicity in the last couple years, so we have more people interested in coming here, living here, investing here. This has driven up housing prices and really sucked up the supply of our long-term rentals. So like I mentioned, our local government declared a housing emergency, and one of the solutions they came up with to try and combat our workforce housing crisis was to limit short-term rentals. Now, I'm not here to debate the merits of this policy. I just want to give you guys the information so you know what's going on. So first things first, a lot of people don't know that the Town of Crested Butte and Mount Crested Butte are actually two separate municipalities, and they make their own rules about how they govern short-term rentals. In addition to that, CV South is its own subdivision, and they even further make their own rules. So I'm going to break down how each of these places has handled this issue. So let's start with the Town of Crested Butte. In July of 2021, Town Council passed a 12-month moratorium on issuing new vacation rental licenses. So when you buy a property in Crested Butte, if that property has a vacation rental license, that license does not transfer with the sale of the property. The difference now is that you also now cannot apply for a new license until at least July of 2022. I think it's important to note that there's still a little bit of uncertainty around what's going to happen next year. The town could choose to extend the moratorium, they could choose to end it, they could choose to reduce the total number of licenses in town. We just don't know, so that's definitely something to consider when you're looking at purchasing a property in downtown Crested Butte. So now let's talk about Mount Crested Butte. Remember, we're in a different municipality now, we're up on the mountain. So in August, they actually voted on the same issue, which was whether or not to impose a moratorium on short-term rental licenses. They actually voted against a moratorium, meaning that if you buy a house in Mount Crested Butte, you can still apply for a vacation rental license. It's probably worth noting that they did slightly increase the fees associated with getting a license, and there's a little more paperwork, but generally nothing changed. So the general takeaway here is that in Mount Crested Butte, you can still apply for a vacation rental license, and there really aren't any plans to revisit issuing a moratorium. So now let's jump back down the valley to CV South, where they recently voted on a change to their covenants. They actually voted on a lot of different issues, but today I'm just going to talk about the short-term rentals. So there was an issue on the ballot where they were going to vote to limit short-term rentals to 90 days a year. That issue passed, so that is now the new rule in CV South. So just to clarify that a little bit, if you have a short-term rental in CV South, there are only 90 days in a calendar year that you can rent that property. So I know there have been a lot of changes lately to all these rules, but hopefully this video helped clarify some of those, and it is an ever-evolving situation, so I'm sure we'll see more changes down the road, but I will certainly keep you updated.